Net Lakers brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. Chris McGee, Robert Ory, Big Game James Worthy. We got Allie and Trudell down at the arena. The Lakers in a thriller here in Game 2. Get the victory. They take a 2-0 advantage in the series. Big news coming in tonight was Kevin Durant would be available and play. But tonight, guys, once again, balance. Laker offense. Great performances from LeBron, Marcus Smart, and Luke Kennard as they combine for 76 points. Each guy, 23 points or more. But the biggest key to victory, the Laker defense, once again, 16 stocks total, 11 steals, 5 blocks. And when you look at these first 2 games, in the history of the Lakers, lowest field goal percentage for an opponent, second best all time through 2 games, just 39% for the Rockets. That defense deserves a lot of credit.
Yeah, you said balanced, and that's exactly what you got tonight, Geeter, from the entire team on both ends of the court. We had 3 guys getting it done offensively, Geeter, but it was the defense. And it all started with this one play when Marcus Smart was putting pressure on Durant. He stole that ball at half court or something, and they got the steal. That's when it started. Marcus Smart has injected some toughness, some physicality into this team, and it has spread throughout. They did a really good job of taking away Durant in the fourth quarter. I only think he had a few shots in the fourth, 4 or 5 shots. They didn't give up easy buckets, offensive rebounds. The defense, Geeter, is what has gotten them this far, and they just continue to get better and better on that end.
I think you talk about the offensive rebounds that the Rockets get. So the Lakers say, you know what, we got to do the same thing. And most of the times when teams crash the board like that, they usually not typical teams that box out on the other end. And so the Rockets were able to get the rebounds, but the Lakers counteracted that by getting their own offensive rebounds. I thought the way they moved the basketball, especially in the second half, was key, because in the first half, when they got to that 15-point lead, then they got a little too happy, and they started not taking care of the basketball. But then they, sometimes that's why you have halftime. You go in and you refocus and you settle down, and they came out and played very well. The defense picked it up when KD, they needed to stop. They stopped KD. And then they kept Amen Thompson from getting to the rack. And what's more important also is Sengun is an all-star, just like KD. They've been keeping him under wraps. He hadn't exploded yet, so hopefully they can keep him frustrated.
Marcus Smart, an epic performance. Here he is with Mike Trudell.
All right, Marcus, an incredible effort for you guys on both ends. I want to start in the fourth quarter, though. There was a series where you made 3 straight plays, right? The 3, then getting fouled, and then the big steal. Can you just take me through that sequence at the time your team needed it the most?
Just being locked in, just being that defensive anchor, that vocal leader that this team needs, and where I've been all year, right? And just using my IQ and instincts to see plays.
5 steals for you overall on the evening. I know that's been a trademark of your career, but can you kind of just take me through how you're able to get involved into the offense in the way that you do?
Just really being, very selective with when I want to go, use my hands, trying to, pick my spots without fouling. And, my teammates allow me to gamble a little bit. They trust me, my instincts and everything like that. So just using what I've been doing my whole career.
All right, so we go back to the first quarter. You hit a bunch of threes, and it really kind of got the team going there. You end up with 25 points, 1 short of your season high. Did you just feel that the team needed that boost on offense, considering Luka and Austin remain out?
Yeah, exactly. It takes a collective effort. We've been saying that ever since those guys went down. They'll be a big key part to our team and what we do offensively. They're down, and now everybody else got to step up and help out.
What did you see from LeBron tonight?
Greatness, man. I mean, his IQ of the game. He picks his spots very well, and he stays very poised. There's times where, you see things start to get out of control, and he's still calm. And, that's what happens when, you've been in this league for 23 years doing what he does and been making plays the way he's playing and being great as he is. So we appreciate him.
Last one for you. Not sure many people would have had you guys up 2-0, just considering the guys that are out. How were you able to do that overall, and what does that mean as you now go to Houston?
Continue to elevate each other. We understand that we're down, like I said, but we got other players on this bench and other guys that can play, and that's just opportunity. So we're looking forward to get to Houston. We're playing against a really good team. KD's back. We know what he brings. We know what this team brings, and we know going back in their home court is going to be a challenge, and we're ready.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
Marcus Smart, what a game. And this Laker defense, remember, up until the All-Star break, they were 23rd in the league in defensive efficiency. Moved all the way up to 13th post-All-Star break. Lowest opponent field goal percentage in the first 2 games, 2026 first round. There it is, tied for second best with the 1995 Lakers in the Seattle series, 39%. And by the way, Rob, you guys played pretty good D in the first round of your three-peat there against Portland when you absolutely smashed them and swept them in 3. And you guys both brought this up. Kevin Durant came out absolutely on fire. He was 4 for 5 with 11 points in the first quarter. He got to the free throw line. He had 20 at half. He ended up with just 23 points, 1 field goal. 1 field goal there in the fourth, just 1 for 4, James.
Defensively, they figured out a way to take away his sweet spots after he got going. I noticed that there was always kind of like not a trap, but someone stunting, helping. They wouldn't let him go to his right hand to get that shot that he wants. I just thought, they kept mixing it up. Sometimes they had, Rui on it. Sometimes they have Marcus Smart was playing. They just did a good. See right there, he came over right when he was getting ready to get into his threat area. That time, Kennard was on him. So they did a good job of poking at him, stunning at him, not letting him be comfortable with where he was trying to get to with the ball.
And, Rob, it's mixing up the coverages, right? Second half, more blitzes, more double teams on KD. We saw that during the season as well. And you forced them into making some bad decisions, and also a cold shooting night from 3 again for the Rockets, just 24%, 7 of 29.
The defense was so great in the second half. And, of course, you can't play that in the first half, too, because you can go in and make halftime adjustments. And what they do is they go with a two-man trap, and they immediately jump into a triangle. You get a guy on the free throw line, you have 2 guys on the box. But the best part about that is the communication they have. They get out there, they're running these guys off the three-point line. They're actually contesting the shots and hoping that they make the extra pass. That way their defense can recover. Sometimes you want teams to make the extra pass to be the offense so the ball will outrun the defense. But in this case, the way the Lakers are swarming defense, that extra pass actually plays into their hands because they're out there to cover it and contest it. But the only thing about that is it puts you in trouble for rebounding. And that's the one thing we do show. But I'd rather you be in trouble rebounding than let these guys get hot from 3.
And let's give the Lakers credit in that area. We said they had to be much better. They were tied with the Rockets in rebounding after the third quarter. Now, the Rockets won the rebounding war by 5. They also, if you look at this box score, 17 offensive rebounds for 21 second chance points. 7 of those offensive rebounds came in the first quarter. So in the second and third quarter, it went down to 3, went down to 2, and then they had 5 in that decisive fourth quarter. So the Lakers did a much better job on that end of the court. All right, I want to show you guys this because offensively there was some brilliance for these Lakers. We talked about it without Luke and AR. It's going to be collective. LeBron is going to do his thing. In game 1, you have all 5 starters in double figures. You had the big game from Luke Kennard. Well, Luke Kennard backed it up again. 23 points, 3 of 6 from 3. He also had the 3 rebounds. Marcus Smart, 25 points, 5 of 7 from 3. Clutch at the free throw line, 7 assists. And what's not on that board, 5 steals. And then LeBron, 28 points, 8 and 7. He was absolutely brilliant again. They combined for 76 points, all led by LeBron James, of course.
Well, it looks like the impactor list, and what's the other title for the other list? Impactor.
Big bucket ballers.
Big bucket ballers, all in one right here. But look, here's the deal. With all the experience of LeBron, but when you take out Luka and Austin Reeves, they still don't have as much experience as Marcus Smart and Luke Kennard. So even though you're missing 2 offensive dynamite players, you bring in experience in Marcus Smart, you bring in a better defensive presence, experience, and Luke Kennard, been around, not afraid to play the game, poised, has stepped up. So you're missing 2 dynamic players, you bring in 2 experienced players, they pick up the pieces along with LeBron, the rest of the crew catch on, and they play good team basketball.
I'm just looking at the way Luke Kennard is playing. Even had a couple of hiccups, 8-second count, stepping back court. But, all that, I throw it out the window because his way he's keeping the ball alive when he has his dribble, his ability to knock down the shot. But more important, out of all that aside, his confidence. His confidence is going and running this offense, putting himself in a position to score, putting himself in a position to be a dangerous guy so he can make the extra pass to someone when he is covered. And I love where the confidence is roaring right now. And to me, he is low-key been the star of this team. I know everybody wants to point at LeBron, but LeBron, who cares about LeBron? We got Luke Kennard.
Hey, by the way,
and LeBron,
and Marcus.
Listen, if these numbers are correct for Luke Kennard, which I was kind of adding up in my head, 17 to 26 from the field, 8 of 11 from 3 in this series, and you're seeing Marcus Smart right here, James. I mean, if you have a give the game ball for someone, I think you brought up such a great point. That was early in the first quarter.
Yeah.
You got the crowd going, diving on the ground, led to a bucket. A LeBron breakaway. It was a great play by Marcus. He set the tone.
There it is, right there.
He was fantastic all night.
He set the tone just about in every game. Diving, taking charges, aggravating. You hate these kind of players because they're going to be around aggravating you like a fly in your ear. And, he's just one of those players that has given this team life. He's given his team a big responsibility on the defensive end. It's showing up every game.
Well, not to talk about his 7 assists he got, too.
7 assists. Yeah, he was huge. All right, time to hear from Coach J.J. Redick, brought to you by your Toyota dealers.
JJ, what do you think kind of carried over just from a grit and toughness standpoint from game one into this one against a team that had to be redoubling their efforts, trying not to go down 2-0 down 2-0?
I mean, we saw it happen over the last couple days with road teams winning game 2. I think there's a natural flow to series where the team that loses can relax a little bit, the team that wins can relax a little bit, and the team that loses comes out and plays with more desperation. And I thought our guys at least match their sense of desperation, our second efforts, our multiple efforts, all that stuff. I mean, you gotta win a bunch of little fights. That could be your catch position offensively, that could be your screens, that could be creating separation, that could be boxing out. But this team requires you to win a bunch of little fights.
And how about that? There was like a 1-minute stretch from Marcus Smart where he hits a 3, gets fouled for the free throws, and then gets the steal. And just how did that typify his effort tonight?
He did a lot of stuff tonight. Which stretch of the game was that? Yeah. I mean, I think he's been a laser all season from the corners, and we had set him up to be there for on that particular play. Feeling like that if they went to fire, if they were in rotation, that was the shot we wanted, and he hit a big one. I think he had just gotten to the free throw line and seen the ball go through the basket. And I think he did a great job defensively. Obviously, it takes a full team effort to guard Kevin, and I don't know why I have a first half box score or first quarter box score here, but the job that I think our team did, he makes shots. He's an unbelievable player. I thought our activity was as good as it could have been.
JJ, one of the things about your career was you had that remarkable playoff stretch where you were in the postseason, time after time after time. You guys start 2 guys in DeAndre Ayton and Marcus Smart who began their careers going to the playoffs, and then just it didn't happen for a little bit. And both have talked about the energy they've gotten from this. What have you seen that from both of them and their execution? And do you sense that in their energy over the last kind of week or so, that they're back doing what they want to do?
I mean, Smart's talked about it since training camp, so yeah. I think it was brought up, our group trying to lean on LeBron's otherworldly experience in this league. And obviously we've had to do that, and he's captained our team and led our team. But there's other guys that have, we have 4 guys that have played in the finals. So all the experience that Smart has had, all the experience that DA has had, Maxey on the bench, they've shared that. I think being in big moments, for those guys is not a new thing, and Smart he just had a killer game tonight.
Coach, a lot of people talk about you have Jim Hill right hand to your left.
Oh, hey, Jim.
How are you? A lot of people talk about your team has what it takes to win. What is that it factor?
I didn't know anybody said we had what it takes to win.
JJ, you head to Houston up 2-0. You head to Houston up 2-0, and I know you challenged this group to elevate at the beginning of last week, and ultimately they've met what you've asked of them. What is it about the collective character of this group that's allowed them to meet the moment?
I said this earlier this week. The regular season is not a means of punishment. It's a means of building resiliency, and I think our group has, in the aggregate, been an incredibly resilient group, and that's why we have the confidence and belief and certainly the collective competitive spirit that is needed to be on this stage with, going against a great basketball team in Houston.
JJ, we spoke about this throughout the season. When we met with Marcus preseason or during the last offseason, you talked to him about, him being the type of player who needs to be on a winning team or in this type of context to really thrive. What did you see from him, I guess, in previous seasons that led you to believe he still had this level of play in him? And I guess as the play he's had these last two games, kind of what you thought he would be when he joined the team?
Well, number one, I competed against him, and I competed against him in the playoffs, so I know what kind of competitor he is. And I got to watch him, as a newly retired player compete at the highest level and play in the finals. So I knew that the moment and the stage was not going to, being a Laker was not going to affect him. We talked about when you kind of go to places that maybe aren't talked about or, let's be honest, as relevant nationally as the Lakers or the Celtics, it can be frustrating. I think every player wants to feel like they're on a team that's playing for something, and I know he was looking for that in free agency, and then we did a deep dive on a bunch of things on him, in particular just what some of the analytics showed. It's easy to sort of write somebody off as being older and not being as good, but all the analytics defensively, the analytics as a secondary playmaker, they all were very favorable, so we felt really comfortable bringing him on board.
Just like that. Mm-hmm. Lakers are now 2-0 in this series, best of 7 as it switches to Houston. LeBron with 28 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. Marcus Smart with 25, 5 of 7 for 3, 7 assists and 5 steals. Luke Kennard, 23 points, 3 of 6, 6 rebounds. So the series will shift to H-Town. Lakers taking on the Rockets. Game 3 at 5 on Prime. Pre-game at 4 p.m. on Spectrum Sportsnet. And as always, full post-game coverage after the game wraps up.
Pre- and post-game coverage on Spectrum Sportsnet.
Big game, James. Carl's Jr. moment of the game. Lob it up high and Ayton with a monster throwdown.
Well, Marcus is a setup man. He knows how to set you up for a nice pass or nice lob. That time, he knew that the defense was coming over and Ayton was rolling. I think that's his favorite guard on the team is Marcus Smart.
28, 8, and 7 for the King. He's with Allie Clifton.
What pleased you most about the Game 2 execution, coming in with the game plan?
You just said it. We executed the game plan offensively and defensively, shored up some of our mistakes in Game 1, and just got into the dogfight. Obviously, it's going to be a dogfight every game versus these guys. They bring a lot of physicality, a lot of athleticism, well-coached team. So, but we was locked in on our game plan. We was able to make it happen.
Speaking of physicality and athleticism, at 41, the reverse. What does that take?
I don't even know what that was about. I got to sit down somewhere. I got to sit down somewhere.
LeBron, you, Luke, and Marcus, I think you got behind something like 78 points, 16, 6 rebounds, assists. What is it about the three of you making this work when it usually could be you, Luka, and AR?
Well, we all got to pick up our play. When you got two big guns out like we have, we all got to pick up our play. And that's all it's about. We all just trying to make contributions in all facets of the game, pick up our play. Obviously, when you're missing, Luka missing AR, so we're just trying to seize the opportunity. That's all.
LeBron, you had so many.
With
20-plus that he had tonight, but you're probably going to see him boxing out. You're probably going to see him dive on the floor for a loose ball. Probably going to see him checking a guy like Kevin Durant full court. How is that reliability helping this team when the stakes are higher?
I mean, he's battle-tested. The guy's been to the finals, been in multiple playoff games, big games in his career. So, obviously, he's not afraid of the moment, and he's always been assigned with some of the best players that ever played his game, in his career. So, to have someone like that, it brings a lot of composure to our team as well. Especially like you said, I know I don't want to beat a dead horse, but it's two big horses, with A.R. and Luke out. So, to have that, it means a lot to our ball club.
Some of those battles have been against you. You've had some great matchups against Marcus Smart teams. Knowing what he can do on the court against him, how does that help you sort of maximize him as a teammate now that he's on your side in these kinds of pressure situations?
Yeah, I mean, just knowing his resume, just know what he's all about. He just plays winning basketball. Obviously, he's been big time for us offensively in this series, but what he brings, the intangible. Sometimes a lot of the things that he does doesn't even show up in the box scores. They don't track you diving for a loose ball. They don't track you boxing out. They don't track, how many times you can, get your hands on the tip or deflections, things like that. Obviously, we track it, but box scores don't track it. So, obviously, he's been great so far.
Knowing how KD can take over
a specific though, you have like the most encyclopedic memory in the game. Are there things that he's done on the court when you've been on it that you can now feed him because you remember that kind of stuff?
I think you guys seen the meme after game one.
Yeah.
I can look at him and he knows what the hell I'm talking about. He can relate to me. So,
knowing how KD can take over a game with your playoff experience playing against him, how much defensive gratification is there to holding a guy like him to 3 points in the second half?
None. That just make him even madder going into game 3. No satisfaction. We do your job. We did that. But the guy's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he's gonna make way more great plays than not so. So we don't have no satisfaction. That game is over and done with. But that's still a tall challenge, and that's 7 foot tall too. I know he don't like to. He hates that. He might be mad at me if he sees that. He wants to be 6'10" or 6'9" so bad. But he's 7 foot for sure.
Obviously, this group entered this series as huge underdogs. You talk about how you lost 2 huge horses. What do you think of this group going up 2-0 in the series?
It means nothing. The series is not won until you win 4. It's the first of 4. But our only mindset is game 3. The game is always played in between the lines, and that's all that matters. We have an opportunity to play the next one, and that's all you can ask for. We're in the postseason, and to have an opportunity to play another playoff game, we should be excited about that, but we also should make sure we take care of our bodies, too. That was a hard-fought game, and we got tomorrow, and we got to fly down to Houston on Thursday and get ready to play on Friday. So.
When the stage you talked about balancing the competition, the competition in the show, people want to see you and Kevin play. How do you kind of appreciate the show part of it while locking in on the competition at the same time?
What do you mean the show part?
Just the fact that it's y'all two have been legendary in your careers.
I just think it's just it's the stories. You guys have seen us play for so long. Been following us since high school or maybe even before that. So, the storytelling is what a lot of fans and what a lot of people gravitate towards because they've seen our journey. They've seen our ups, they've seen our downs and everything in between. And I think that's what makes, certain guys, certain matchups, that fans kind of attract to because of the journey and the storytelling. From a fan's perspective, I think that's what that's about. From a competitive standpoint, to play against one of the greats that ever played this game, it's always an honor and it's always a treat. So I don't take that for granted.
About LeBron,
Last question.
Your career,
I'll give you one. I got you.
The way Luke keeps playing.
What about it?
What impressed you about it?
Shit. I've seen it. I've seen it for a long time now. I've seen it for a long time. Just super composed. It's not just I know he led the league in shooting percentage and got awarded with the award the other day. He's a sniper. We understand that, but he does so much more. He does so much more, and I think that's what keeps defenses off balance because sometimes you fall into the fact that he shoots 50 from the three, and you think that sometimes is all he can do, but he's so much more than that.
LeBron, at this stage of your career, what enables you to make all those energy plays, whether it's the dunks, getting out in transition, all the finishes?
I don't know, just kind of living in the moment, I guess. I don't know how many more opportunities I'll get to play in the postseason, in my career. So, but shit, I live for this moment. I live for the postseason. I've been doing this since I was 21. I think my first postseason game was 21. And so 20 years. I know I missed it a couple of times, but from that moment at 21, that first game, I made my mark, and for 20 years I've been thinking about the postseason, so I don't shy away from it.
Luke Kennard continues to cook with the Lakers shorthanded, 23 points, 6 assists in the win, 101-94, the final score. More post-game reaction from the purple and gold on the way. Take a look at the remaining games in this series. We'll focus on game 3 and 4 because those are for sure happening. Game 3 is Friday. I looked, Lakers are already 9.5-point underdogs. They were 5.5-point dogs tonight. Lakers at Rockets, 5 o'clock on Prime Friday, Sunday, 6:30 p.m. on NBC. Lakers at Rockets. Marcus Smart and Rui Hachimura with the media.
With Luka and Austin out, how much have you taken on just every possession as a personal challenge?
Tremendously for me. It's everything is heightened, right? We need guys. And, my whole life I've been that guy that you can just throw in certain spots whenever you need. And like I said before, that Swiss Army knife, right? That's me filling in the gaps, whatever we need, whenever we need it. And that's just who I've been. And I think that's what makes me very valuable and what makes me very unique.
Well, one for Marcus and one for Rui. I'll start with Rui. I'm pretty sure you had the team high for minutes tonight. How much are you feeling gratification over? We were just a few weeks ago, we were asking you about being comfortable with coming off the bench and leading the unit up from that side of the ball, and then now being in this role. How are you feeling about that gratification-wise? And then for Marcus, JJ mentioned a conversation you had with him in San Francisco. He didn't go into detail about the conversation, but I was wondering what you took from that after those 3 defeats and knowing that you can use your voice to help rally the troops with this.
Yeah, I think I was ready for it, throughout the season. It's a long season, but, building the body, I had to do a lot of recovery during the season, lifting and all that. I was doing all that for this moment, the playoff. So I was ready for that, and yeah, it's a high minute for me, but I think it's not that bad. I've been playing it, and I've been playing through, fine. I've been locked in on the defense side and whatever we have to execute and all that. So yeah, I think I was living for this moment.
Yeah, me and JJ, we talk all the time, right? I'm constantly talking to the staff to see what I can do to help. The coaches aren't out there, and I try to be that quarterback out there for the coaches. Relaying messages, getting everybody together, and that talk was just, to sum it up, was really just, hey, go play basketball, be you, and to be able to have him trust me. And then not only that, to have this team and these guys trust me to be able to do that, something that I'm grateful for. It shows a lot. It shows the camaraderie. It shows where we came, the long way that we came, and we're going to continue to trust one another.